Hello and welcome to Hibs Talk. I'm your host as always, Gav. Joining me today is Stephen.
Hello.
And Stuart. How you doing, Stuart?
Hi, I'm fine.
Been a while since you've been on.
Yes, it's been a good few months.
Aye. We moved to the Monday nights, but you do your radio show on a Monday night.
Radio Grapevine for the hospital radio at St John's Hospital. So this is I'm getting back to this because I'm so excited about Hickey.
How are you doing, Stephen?
Alright. A wee bit more enthusiastic than the last few weeks, but still nothing changed.
What you been up to?
It's my week off.
Aye.
First week off in a year, and I've been busy all through it.
And what have you up to this afternoon? I know, because I was there as well.
We've done an interview for BT Sport.
Aye, we're famous now. We're going to be on the telly.
I know.
I'm going to record it.
I just wanted people to recognise me when I walk into the toilets at Easter Road like you.
That was funny. Aye, cheers to the guys for that. But how about yourself, Stuart? How you doing?
I'm fine. I just at the weekend I was in the pub. I never got to the match because it was supposed to be sold out, which it never is. Aye. Because you always see a few of the seats, and I could have been there. But anyway, I went to the pub, and it's full of jambos, and then it just ruins your. It's like going out on a Saturday, being at the match, and your Saturday is ruined. Your Saturday night. So my Sunday night was ruined, and I sent you a photo when I was in my bed because I had a few beers, and I just can't cope. As you get older, I always remember my dad saying, I'm not going to the game, son. I'm not going to the game. I'm just sick and tired of them. And that was in probably the 80s and the 90s when we weren't playing great. And now, as you get older, you say to yourself, I'm not wanting to go because it's no pleasing on the eye.
Just so everybody can, Stuart sent that photo at 6 o'clock by the way.
Aye, I know, it was I looked at it in the morning. Right, aye, so like this. In bed.
I had a job interview today and got told I'd find out Monday, but then got told I got the job. So
which is great.
Brilliant, fantastic.
And then before we met up for you, I thought I'd go for some lunch and stuff, and I went to, I was looking at all the cafes in Edinburgh and stuff, and oh my god, that's so like fancy, and like £9 for it was like £7 for a soup and a roll or something, and it was ridiculous, and it was like, I can't even remember the name of the soup, and I thought maybe I'll just get a scone and a cup of tea. The scone was like curry and lentils scone. I'm like, what is going on? So I ended up in Greg's, and
of course you did.
You can't beat Greg's, but yeah. So that was sort of my day. And then obviously we had the interview with BT, which was exciting. And that was kind of cool. So that'll be good to see that on Saturday morning.
I'm excited to see it.
Aye,
I'm tried on it.
Steve's
got told today that I've got a wee bit of a nervous twitch over it.
So on today's show, we're going to obviously look at the Killie game last night, and I discussed sort of the ongoing managerial sort of pressures and stuff. We're going to talk about the whole new European League and what kind of that'll involve, look ahead to the Celtic game, and of course Room 1902, and finish up with some of your guys' questions. So let's start with the Killie game. Rather than going through play by play, which we kind of usually do, I thought we'd try something a bit different today. We'll go through the positives, some things that were almost good, and then we'll finish up with some negatives and some frustrations. So the positives, clean sheet. I mean, a few things off the back of that, starting with Porteous's performance. Your thoughts on Porteous's performance until the red card, which we'll get back to?
It was solid until the red card. I don't really want to go back on the red card thing, but now he commanded it, made a massive difference, and he started to show the form that he was showing last season. Obviously he's just come back from an injury layoff and that, so still got to give the boy some slack for that, but now mountain. And obviously with Tom James alongside him, Tom James made a difference last night. Looked
really good, the two of them, and I think Porteous covered for him well when he needed to, and the two of them had really good dynamics. So just on the suspension, is it because it's the League Cup, does that mean he misses the semi, or did he miss his Saturday?
Well, I read on social media today he's missing Saturday.
Right, Saturday. Aye,
it was because it was a straight red.
Aye,
I think it was because it was a straight red, not too yellow. And I don't know if you looked at it back.
No, I got a great view of it.
It was a bad one, but I'm maybe getting a bit cynical here, but I think that football's getting like hockey. You can't
the ball was gone.
But it wasn't a straight. I don't think it was a straight red. I thought on the radio, the way that they were talking, I was listening to Radio Scotland, I thought he took him by the neck. And he never. It wasn't he never led with the studs. The guy ran by him, and he got him by the sign. I don't think it was a straight red.
For me, I think it was more just the fact that it was a reckless tackle when everybody was tired that late in the game.
Possibly.
Right? And I think, obviously it has an effect on it, but I think it was a stupid challenge to make, especially that late.
Yeah.
2 minutes before the end of the game, having your centre back sent off.
Aye, but we're going to start with the positives, so let's stick to the positives.
We're still on the positives.
Good to see Porteous back though, and getting back to his confidence self.
It was a man of match for me against Hearts. Definitely on the Hibs side. Definitely the man of the match. He was strong as an ox. He reminds me of a young Yogi Hughes.
Yeah,
he's a bit scatterbrained. He's only, what age is he? 20-year-old. He'll learn, but he's like a Yogi Hughes, bit up here that he sort of wants to try too much for the team. He's going to have to curb that, but what a player.
I thought his reading of the game looked better last
100%.
night, and that's something apparently he's been working on whilst injured,
Yeah.
through videos and stuff, and sort of like some coaching and stuff. So I think that's brilliant if that's been the case. Great to see them doing that work behind the scenes and really starting to see the benefits. Just know on Saturday.
He'll be the next player to go for amount of money.
Aye,
and
definitely.
it'll probably be Celtic, because it'll be Lennon that'll take him.
We were saying that last night. That
Nah, I'm not having it.
Me and Dave
Nah.
Celtic.
Another one down south. So we mentioned James. Great to see him right back. Naismith, who'd been doing all right, probably won't get back in the team, because to me James was great against St Mirren until his injury, and great again last night. So great to see him playing well, and a better promise from Hanlon, who probably hasn't had the best sort of run of form.
Well, I'll talk about him later, because I've got that. I want to throw a wee spanner in the works about Paul Hanlon.
Right.
But yeah, every player has a hard time, and he's just went through a hard time. It shows the ability of the player if they get through that hard time. That's what it's about. It's like a striker, if he doesn't score, and it takes them 5, 6, 7, 8 games, but if they get through it and they start scoring, well, that shows their mentality. So I think that is with Paul. He's a good player, but he's just went through a hard time the last few months, and I'm glad that he's come and played well. I've never seen the game, so I'm glad you're saying he played well. And
something we've seen a bit more of was the high press. We were kind of doing that a bit more often. I know it happened.
Did we?
And Vela was a big part of that. The problem was, this is why this is moving into the sort of frustrate, the almost good things, was we were winning the ball, but when we win the ball, we didn't know what to do with it. We just poor decisions.
It seems as though it's a Hibs way now, and it was something that's changed since Hecky took charge. Like, we've never played so many back passes or lateral passes along the back, and every time, like you say, it wasn't just one man running to the ball this time. It was 2 and 3, and like you said, Vela had a lot to do with that. Maybe he wasn't making the tackles, but he was pressing the rest of them up towards it. And although that's good, it's what you do with it when you've got the ball and passing it back again. That's when you're saying it's almost positive.
And a lot of people are frustrated with how long Maxwell took on the ball, and how, like Stephen says, we're passing it about the defence. It just gives teams more time to get organised, so then they're harder to break down.
But do you not think that's coming back to the manager?
Potentially, that was going to be.
If you remember with John Collins, with Macalambi, John Collins would not allow him to kick that ball. He had to throw it out to your right back, left back. Now, is he being told to slow it down and then build? I don't know. We'll never find that out. I thought against Hearts he played really well. He came out, commanded his box. His distribution was better than what Rocky's was, but he was slower. But has he been told that? I had never seen him last night. I just seen the highlights, which the highlights on Hibs TV, I couldn't believe. Now, when you're doing a Hibs TV highlights, it's usually about the Hibs.
Aye.
And I put notes. Kilmarnock had 8 chances on the Hibs TV, and Hibs only had 4. That's, so...
To be fair, we did only have 7 shots all game. That's not the ones on target.
and of course, our second chance was with young Ollie.
But it is promising that we did, kind of. I'm trying to stick to the positives here. That from those chances they had, we, as well as us only having 2 on target, which we'll kind of talk about more in a second. It was good that we limited them to only 2 shots on target.
Did they only have 2 on target?
Only 2 on target, yeah. 120 minutes. That's
I think they had more
defensive
more
performance.
chances and more touches in the box by far.
Yeah.
But like you say, it's getting the shot away. But to me, that's more down to defence. Like, you look at how commanding Porteous was. James was coming in to help get the ball back out the box. That's all down to defence that we limited their chances. It wasn't.
But Kilmarnock had. I tell you what, if they had better strikers, they could have scored 3 or 4.
No, that Dom Thomas, when he came on, like, he made the difference for them. If he had played for the start, I think that they probably would have won that game, because he come on, he hit the bar, underside of the bar.
Aye.
He laid off. Who was it that he got the header? O'Donnell, I think. Put in the ball for O'Donnell to get the header on target. There was a few chances that he created when he came on, and like, he was a standout for Kilmarnock, even though he only had little time.
Yeah. Hallberg, kind of a bit more disciplined. He was kind of, I think Hecky's maybe realised that we need to play somebody sitting a bit in front of the back four. Hallberg seemed to do that more, so hopefully we see more of that going forward. Middleton, again, like I guess against the Hearts, I was looking at the stats. 6 dribbles out of 6 dribbles were successful, and then 1 out of 4 crosses or something was successful. And same again tonight, loads of times where he got by his man, he done great spit, and then just that final ball, you know, Boyle, it took a while to kind of get that final ball. We just started to see it, and then he got injured. Frustrating when you're getting yourself into good positions and not taking advantage.
I know. I hope this laddie Hallberg does well, because I don't know if you've seen the video of him before when he just arrived, and we were looking at it, and the guy made some late runs into that box, scored goals, had chances, you know, was laying balls off. I thought, well, we've got a player here, but I don't think he's had a chance really, and he's maybe not getting played the same role.
Yeah,
you know, that role I think he wants is what Scott Allen usually plays. You know what he was doing last season, well, under Lennon.
What's Scott Allen to you, Gav? What do you call Scott
I
Allen?
asked this question last week. It wasn't to me. This was just a question to ask, because I thought it was a good question. So I'll ask it to you, Stuart, just quickly, because Stephen's brought up. Is Scott Allen a luxury player that we can't afford to play at the moment?
No danger.
Right.
He is a player that should be in the squad, not in the squad, in the team, first of all. In the same position every week. I'm sorry, but you need a player. I'm not saying a number 10, but I'm saying in the midfield, and he should be in charge. Now, if it doesn't work with Malin, you put Malin on the bench. Malin comes up with an odd goal, but Scott Allen, how can you have him either out wide or on the bench? He came on last night. Did he change again?
No.
No,
that's one of my negatives. I thought we'd come on my point to prove, and to me, no, he didn't.
Well, they said it on the radio.
He was looking to do stuff.
He
was looking to do stuff, and you've seen him be active. You've seen what he was trying to do, and there was a couple of times. There was one chance where I think like he kind of got in a good position and tried to slip through Newell, and Newell and him weren't on the same wavelength, and Newell didn't make the same run.
I think the problem with Alan coming on last night, and this is what we said about after the game, was the fact that every change that he made from Sunday in the derby, they all came on, apart from Canberra, because what happened with Porteous. Now, if you put that into perspective, like Scott Allen comes on, when did he come on? About 80th minute or 70th 80th minute. Everybody was looking leggy at that time. Doidge was run off his arse. Like, he was like shocking the last 10-15 minutes, and it was because he was working so hard the rest of the game. And that's me giving Doidge praise, which takes a lot for me because he's been hopeless. But it just shows like how ineffective Scott Allen can be when the players around him aren't looking for him, or they can't make the runs onto the ball that he can play. And I mean, obviously he came on when Horgan came off, so it was decisions like that, like why no play Scott Allen. And it was like, we were listening to the radio on the way back in the car, and it was the TalkSport in the Oxford West Ham game, and a fan came on and says, in a cup game, regardless of how many changes you've got to make, why don't you have the best players on at the start to then go 1-2-0 up
and then do the changes
later on? And Kilmarnock, to me, last night were there for the beating if we had better players.
Well, we went for a different team, and we're going to kind of come on to the sort of setup in a second, but just quickly on, you mentioned Doidge there. Obviously he kind of got a start. One thing, you know, Maxwell, when he came in, people were saying, oh, he's got better distribution, that's why we're playing him. I mean, I kind of looked at the starts from the last time we played Kilmarnock, where Rocky was in goals, and Rocky had an 80% pass accuracy, and then against Hearts, Maxwell had a 51% pass accuracy. So much for that. But in saying that, last night Maxwell to Doidge was a ball that we were playing a lot, and Doidge was winning it in the air. Problem is, he's knocking it down. And there's nobody there to pick up. How frustrating is that when you're getting up, you're winning it, and you've not got a second striker to play off yet, or even when Alan came on, he wasn't getting in positions to pick it up.
I still think it's the setup of the team. It's all down to the setup of the team. Now, if you and I'm only going back to certain managers, but if you get the keeper getting the ball, what you do is you tell your right back and left back to spread out, take it as wide as it can, because if you're playing 4 at the back, whatever it is, you've always got either 1 or 2 centre forwards, and they've got to do donkey work going left and right. They've got to work hard rather than just walking. So they've got to go away wide at left and right, and you're to take them in. You can just roll it to your centre half, and he goes. That's how easy it is. It's so simple game. But if your keeper is not getting them running and moving, what is he going to do? He's having to kick, and when he does kick, centre halves, come on, it's easy enough for them. They're running onto it. A centre forward's going back the way. So I feel sorry for a keeper when he doesn't have anyone, making a move for him.
Yeah.
Because that'll free up your 2 centre halves.
I'll tell you what I've never understood, right? See, on a goal kick, right? Why not have one player sitting in the middle when he's like, push to the left, push to the right, whatever? Just have one player sitting in the middle of the centre circle to break off the other way, kick the ball the other way, and then he's free.
Nah, I don't get that. I don't know.
Because there was one point, I think it was just coming into the second half, where Stevenson was sort of sitting more central, and then he was, because remember he moved all the players from the left to the right, and then like Stevenson was just sort of sitting in the middle of the centre circle, and then you were thinking maybe just kick it a wee bit straighter, like rather than over to the wing, because with Maxwell's distribution, a lot of the ball that he was playing out, it was pretty much going straight out of play, or we were losing it, and just have somebody a wee bit more central that can break off the back of everybody else.
Can I give him a wee bit of praise?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed it because you were at the game, but I watched it live. In fact, somebody had it on whatever on the internet. And did you see him? Every time Kilmarnock took a penalty, he went and got the ball either out the net, or if it hit the post, he went and got it back, and he ran to the Hibs player and gave them the ball and had him a wee chat with him, as if, come on, you can do it, blah blah blah, and then he ran all the way back to where he's supposed to stand.
I wonder if he was also, because he's a goalkeeper, I wonder if he was also watching the Kilmarnock keeper and kind of getting an idea of what he's like to kind of give them tips.
Possibly. Well, it's the first time I've seen it. He went away and got the ball and he took it to the edge of the 18-yard box and says right there, because the player wasn't even in the box yet.
Shaw obviously had his headphones in when he was went to his
kick it to his left,
mate. Stephen, I mean, we're kind of on the negatives now. You were quite frustrated with Ollie Shaw when he came on. I mean, he's been played out of position, but you're kind of frustrated with him overall.
The thing was, though, like you say he's playing out of position, right? If he came on, obviously Hecky told him to play on the wing. The thing was, like, Doidge wasn't, like, pretty much ineffective by the point that Shaw came on, because he was ran off his feet. Like, I mean, Doidge done a lot of running yesterday, and that's Shaw's time to then pick up. He's a winger, but he's a striker. He's a natural striker. So you cut in. Like, the ball wasn't getting played to him on the byline. It was getting played to him maybe just off centre, and he was cutting in for it. This is what I was saying to you last night. Like, good strikers, if they're not getting the service, they can then adapt to create their own chances.
But the problem with that, I mean, Flo's been doing that. Flo's been coming looking for the ball to create his chances, and when he does that, there's no one in the box, and he's been criticised for not being in the box.
Again, though, that's because Hibs are playing far too deep. It's
yeah, but the thing is, Steve, what's happening is talking about Flo. Flo comes deep. He comes into probably about 10-15 yards from the halfway line. He's coming in there to hold the ball. If he lays back, there's a big gap in behind, and your sweep, I keep on saying sweep at the edge of me, but your second centre half, if one's followed him, the other one's sitting there and he's sweeping up. It's so easy. And that there, you've got to have two players. The only way, if somebody can come deep, you've got to have another centre forward in behind. We can't do that with one player.
No, 100%.
Yeah, but one centre forward, he's got to be laying the last man.
Yeah.
And that is it. You can't go doing the donkeys, coffin runs.
Aye, when I was saying creating chances, I'm not meaning like run to the halfway line, pick the ball up, dribble past 5 players and then shoot.
Aye.
I'm talking about like if you see a loose ball, like going into space, or you look for the space, like that interview with the Forest Green manager that saying, Doidge he's not been playing to his best because he's not been doing this, that, the next thing. Like, you saw Doidge having to run back to the halfway line to pick up the ball again, and we've just been told by the manager, who's had 60 goals at him, or round about that, to play him on the shoulder of the last man and play somebody, let somebody play the ball to him. But obviously Hickey is just not acknowledged that. He's got his own way of thinking. Fair enough, like, each manager's entitled to their own way. That's how they're a manager, I'm not. But I'm quite good on Football Manager. Like, what I'm saying is, like, you take on board that, and it's what Mickey Weir and Paul Kane said. You listen to the fans, because they're the ones that are in the stands seeing everything about you. Like, you're circled by 10 players the whole game. If somebody's coming out to you and physically telling you, or booing for the stands, saying, "Oh, you should have done this, should have done that," everybody in the stands pretty much giving the same advice. Like, and you've had a manager who's got the best out of a player saying, play him off the shoulder of the last man. He'll make the runs and get the goals, but you need to play it to his feet. But again, it's long balls where you're saying he's having to knock it down, nobody there. You can't play one man up front, and it can't be Doidge and it can't be Flo, because they're no lone strikers.
No, they're not.
Well, moving on from that, the red card, which we've kind of already spoke about, but one thing that Dave, who...
Furious.
He didn't get this when Porteous was going off. He got applauded by the Hibs fans. Now, Dave made the point, if that was Stephen Whittaker that had got sent off, would he have got the same reception?
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
So,
because he should have known better.
Because
he's 30 odd. He's 10 years on. He's senior.
But is there a thing with Porteous, because he's a young laddie and because he's like a hibby, and we've seen him in the away end at Tynecastle and stuff.
No.
Does he sometimes get a bit of free pass and stuff?
No, because he gives 100% every game. And that lad puts in he's burst 2 balls. The laddie puts in a tackle, and he was just a fraction late last night. That's what I'm saying. It was a fraction. It wasn't a malice tackle, in my opinion. It was a fraction late, and the guy got caught. If the referee's saying that's the new ruling, get him sent off. But anyway, Porteous is a young lad coming through, irrespective if he's a Hibs fan or not. He gives 100%, and we've not got another player in that team at this moment that gives 100%, Gav.
Right.
In my opinion,
right.
I don't. You name one player that is 100% committed in that team.
I think Doidge was last night. It wasn't, he wasn't getting service. I think Flo has been. Scott Allen, I think, really gives 100%.
Yeah, but I don't see that in the full 90 minutes. I don't see. I just see Porteous. Okay, he's just come back, but I think that the lad gives everything, and I've got to applaud him for it. He is, for the young boy, he's still learning the trade, but he's given. If we had another 10, or let's say we had another 5 of him, we'd be some team.
Aye.
But I just don't see what I know what you're talking about, Scotty Allen, and I love the guy. I love him playing, but the commitment and tackling, that's what I'm talking about. Tackling, and the centre forward must hate him, because he follows him everywhere because he's got an engine as well.
You came out reminded me of that tackle last night. It was the exact same when Alan went through Rossiter in the 5-5 game. It's the exact same, because Hibs fans cheered him like nothing on earth. Even if he had if he got sent off in that tackle 20 minutes into the game, he would have still got the same reception that Porteous got.
I think that was a dirtier tackle than that one.
100%. But that's the thing, like, I see what Stuart's saying. I agree with Dave to a degree. I didn't think it was right that everybody was cheering, like, and it was purely because of the timing. 2.5 minutes left at extra time, you get your centre back sent off, a free kick just outside the box.
Aye.
If we had already made that change with Flo, like, to come on for Doidge. If that change had already taken place before that tackle had went in, and we never had another centre back in there, and we conceded, would Hibs fans be cheering then? No, they'd be booing Hecky.
No, you're right. No, you're right there. I can see your point, but a lot of them, well, they were talking last night about the actual substitution. Flo was ready to come on. And they're saying, now, devil advocate here, does he or does he not put on Flo for the penalty or bring on, was it Jackson? Jackson bring Jackson for 2.5 minutes. Could we have stood that and then had penalties? Luckily we won the penalties, but see if we got beaten penalties, they'd be saying, yeah, the centre forward coming on for 2.5 minutes, surely we'd have kept the goals. Yeah, kept, you know.
It just shows what an impact that red card had.
And he's kept Doidge on for that long. I mean, it doesn't matter how burst you are, you can take a penalty. So I don't understand taking Doidge off, but I think those things would have been major talking points today if we won the penalties. But we did, and we're in the semis, so bring on Celtic.
We're happy.
And we're getting a nice practice run at them on Saturday, which is great. Now we're going to kind of talk about your opinions on the sort of management stuff. So beginning with that, just sort of this kind of ties in with the Kilmarnock game, and then that'll kind of lead us into it. You mentioned it earlier, 2 shots in 120 minutes, and we also had, you know, since the international break, we've scored 1 goal, and it was a hit for distance. What's kind of going on with the chance creation at the moment? Why are we not creating any chances?
We don't. Nobody can say why, because we're not training. You see photographs of them at training down at East Mains, and they're all looking.
So they're doing something.
They're all looking fine fell. They're all smiling and you know and Heckenbottom. He had a wee, you know, he must have joined in yesterday. Photographs, them all enjoying themselves, and you think, well, they're getting on, but I still, it has to be down to the manager and his tactics, because you can't go from what Lennon was doing. I know he had a bad end to his career at Hibs, Lennon, but before we were creating chance after chance after chance, we were running at teams. But then he do that now. Have you seen that Livingston? I texted you last night. I was watching the Livingston Rangers game. Livingston, they were doing what we were doing last season, attacking Rangers. Rangers were lucky last night. So, you know, we're not doing the football side. We just seem to be, I don't know, it's so lackadaisical. Or I just cannot see us getting to the byline. And remember when Boiler was getting to there and pinging the ball across, and he was having 2 and 3 shots. It was coming up the post and coming back to him, and it was getting a goal. When have we done that last? It's as if everything's got to come through the midfield, and we just fall out the ideas the last third. I can't see anything exciting.
I seen a lot of promising signs last night. I think some of it's like individual decision making, and you know, Horgan got into good positions last night, and I think in the first half alone he had like 6 crosses and none of them connected. It's like, so we're getting, I said that a bit middle and earlier on, you know, I think there was times where we were playing it too wide, where like the wingers were going straight out to the byline, and then they've got to take on the man. They're giving themselves more work. We should be trying to play the ball in behind the full back for them to run onto more often. But other than that, I've seen a lot of positive signs last night, and I have to say, I mean, we weren't creating the chances, but I think there's a beginnings of something there.
Was it? Did the gaffer get the players to play through the middle, that tight game again?
It was more aiming out wide.
Was it? Right, I'm surprised at that, because he's never really done that.
Until Alan came on, then we're trying to go
because
through the
middle
more.
Did he not have 2 wingers last night? Aye. So he was
More
he was playing
direct,
Middleton and
aye.
Horgan, but
and I think that benefited us defensively. When we had the ball, we were getting out wide, and I think that helped us win it.
But most games he's usually been playing, it's been trying to play too much football through the middle of the park. And you know as well as me, the 2 years, if you get that, and I'm sure that is the Easter Road still being pulled in, because he pulled that in. He must have got the groundsman to pull on Easter Road. Aye, because the first game I went to the season, it was in probably 2-3 yards on each side.
Right.
So is he wanting to play? Does he think we've got Man City and Barcelona players to play because they play tight? How many times do you see them? They get the ball and there's a guy wide and they didn't play him in. They bring it back in again, but they've got players. We've not got these type of players, and I keep on thinking that he's trying to play like that, too tight, and play the sort of 5-a-side way of getting by their back four. But I think that's playing into teams' hands if you've not got the players.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've got the players.
After the game last night, he sort of hinted that this is the beginning of change. He sort of said they've turned a corner. We went the long way round, but I think it was deserved. I'm delighted we can send the fans home happy because they're in it with us. It was what they deserved.
Was it a roundabout?
I was thinking a maze, like definitely in the middle of a cornfield. Him, like, because
he talks a good game, Stevie.
That's what I says that in the BT Sport thing today. I say he's a good speaker, like a good he could do motivational speaking for the rest of his life if he wanted, but he's not a manager.
To me, anyway, I really like. Cause I try to keep my opinions to a minimum, and I'm really bad at it. But I try to concentrate on hosting. But I really think I've kind of got to give a voice of like pro the manager, because I seen a lot of positive signs last night. I think that it's a lot of the new signings coming in and stuff. Doidge was a lot better than I thought he was going to be. James was really good. Neil not so much. Who I've been trying to say we're writing off too soon. I think we need to see Flo in the team because he's probably our second best player. So really, we probably need to fit the two of them into the team, which I don't think he'll do. But I seen a lot of positive signs last night. I think if we can get the final ball bit, I really think we can, and if we can start, once we win the ball the higher up the park, which was what we were doing last night, if we take advantage of that, I think there's positive signs to come.
Gav, you touched on Flo.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that laddie can do it.
Oh, aye.
Parkhead, I was at that game when we got beat 4-2 from Celtic, and if he gets the right ball, he likes playing off the shoulder. And if he gets that right ball in between the defender and him, he's got pace and he knows how to put the ball in the net. And if you remember that game in last December at Parkhead, got beat 4-2, but he banged that ball in the top corner. And I was like, I was actually sitting in corporate with Celtic fans, and I got up. I couldn't help myself, and it was when we Boiler chipped over the keeper as well. So he can play in that position, but we're not giving him that ball.
We're never putting the ball in behind him.
We're not.
Aye. Slow defenders like Berra and stuff, we're never playing it in behind him.
No, and that's what he's good at, and that's why I don't understand. Does the gaffer not have a look and go, right, that's what used to happen? Because if it was me, I'd be saying, well, that's how they used to play, so we may as well come in and do that.
Aye. You mentioned that the Celtic goal, he done it at home against Celtic as well, and Dundee away we were 1-4-2.
Yeah.
That one where he got in behind and he just shrugged off the defender with that swagger that he's got and just smashed it in. But we don't play that ball in behind, which is I think one of the reasons it's must be a bit frustrating to be him now. But yeah. So again, we're going to come back to the Celtic game in a second because I want to ask you about Europe and stuff. But could this be the beginning of a turnaround? I mean, heck, you've seen the togetherness of the players once we won. Even the subs, even like Flo and stuff who hadn't been playing, coming over and celebrating with the team and stuff. Martin Boyle kind of limping a bit. It was great to see Porteous was there after being sent off. There was that togetherness. Hecky came up to the fans and was kind of giving it the fist
bump.
That was
far too soon for me.
I think he needs to do that to start getting the fans on
far
board.
Too soon. He
needs to do that more often.
He's lost the fans for me.
I think he can turn it around.
It doesn't matter. It goes back to what I said yesterday. Papering over the cracks. That's all that result was last night. You can't sack a manager after they get you to a semi-final. Right, but that's my opinion.
Stevie, you're right, because it was a 0-0 draw.
Aye, the semi-final's only 5 weeks away. We never beat Kilmarnock in 120 minutes. So as far as I'm concerned, he's still not won since the start of the season.
Just wait till we beat Celtic on Saturday.
He's only won one game since March. Huh? He's only won one competitive league game since March.
Do you want to hear the stats about this though? Neil Lennon with the League Cup.
Mm-hmm.
He's never won the League Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And
to be fair though, Celtic are on a 30-game unbeaten run in domestic cup competitions now.
But he's never been there. When he was there, he got beat from Partick and he got beat from Morton in the semi-finals.
And he's going to get beat by Hibs.
And they were at the bottom of the league. So he's never won the League Cup.
We're going to the final, boys. It's happening.
We could. You know what? And this is a big ask. But you imagine it did happen that we got in the final and we won it by default, with a penalty or something like that. I don't know how we're in the semi-final. Never mind getting into a final.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how we are, because we are absolutely, and it's horrible saying it, but we're rank rotten.
I've seen improvements from even from the Hearts game, and I think, you know, I'm confident there's going to be progression in it, and in another 5 weeks we're going to be brilliant, so it's going to be fine.
Just take off the green tinted glasses.
Okay, so the kind of what I wanted to ask you is about this UEFA conference thing that's kind of, I'm going to ask about your initial thoughts on it, effect on Scottish football as an article here I want to write out, and then we'll kind of finish focus it about Hibs and stuff. So, you know, a third tier of European football. Stuart, what's your first sort of thoughts on this?
It's just for money.
Yeah,
that's all it is. It's money. They're not interested in Hibs, Hearts, Aberdeen, possibly Kilmarnock. They're looking for the teams with probably the actual base stadiums that can hold 20,000, and Hibs, Hearts, Aberdeen can do that. And sort of in each country, in European country, that's what they'll be looking for. And all it is, it's just a money exercise. It's not for us. You know, we can't win in our league, never mind going to Europe. I'd love it to get a weekend away, but, you know.
Initial thoughts?
European Caramel Waiver Cup. That's what it is. 100% is. Because I mean, we've already got Scotland playing Welsh and Irish teams.
Will it be the European Marathon or the European Snicker League? Because it's with Brexit. There you go. Right. So it's a marathon or the Snicker.
It'll be interesting to see if it is something that's sort of like the sort of diet sort of, what's it called? It's not the UEFA Cup now. No, that's what I was going to say.
Europa League.
Aye, where it's going to be like a diet Europa League, or whether it's going to be like just like the Intertoto Cup. So it'll be interesting to see what it comes. Now, the impact on Scottish football. To me, when I first heard this, I thought, right, this is great that we'll have, you know, everyone else will be kind of going to Europe, and this is, and I'd say even if we finish fifth, it's an opportunity for us to go into a European competition, maybe even get some group stages. Because I mean, since, you know, you think about the last 15-20 years, apart from Celtic and Rangers, I think Hearts have been in the group stages once, and Aberdeen in the group stages once. So it's not like we're doing that a lot. So if there's an opportunity to do that, you know, you get more European games, therefore hopefully more money.
We question, Gav, there is some clubs out there don't want to get into Europe because sometimes they can't afford it. That could happen. If you've got if you just sneak in sixth or something, because it's going to have to be that, because you're talking about, in Scotland anyway, 1 in Europe, 2 in Europa, and then, so that'll be, you're talking 4th or 5th.
Well, that's where it might change, because this is it. Well, I found out more information today. My opinion on this started to change. So UEFA have declared that the top 15 nations, as determined by their club coefficient, will get exclusive access to the Europa League, whilst teams based 16th and below will not feature in the competition.
And where are Scotland, Gav?
Scotland are currently 19th. So unless that rises, which it might do because Celtic and Rangers are doing well just now in Europe, unless that rises, the first place would go into the Champions League qualifying rounds, and if like the last 2 years Celtic got knocked out, they would then go into the conference competition, and second and third and the cup winners would go into the conference. As it stands, so nobody would be in the UEFA Cup or whatever it's called. So assuming, so as it says there, assuming that we don't, it sort of runs through what I've just said, so I don't need to read it out because I've remembered it. That's pretty good.
Did Hibs not mention this last year? And other clubs mention it. If they get, if they qualify for the Europa, which we did, and you have to do an awful lot of travelling to these Eastern Bloc countries, Kazakhstan and all these places. It costs a lot of money. And you can see how much it costs for the fans to get there, never mind a charter or a plane for your team. And this is what they were saying, and I'm sure they were talking about it last year, that it costs a lot of money for the football club, as in, because you've actually got to gear up for Europe, and Celtic and Rangers can, because they've got 50,000 fans. We've got maybe about 9,000, 10,000 season books. And then what happens is we don't turn up if we're not playing that great, because
Up to
finishing
13
fifth,
this season.
sixth, we're not, well,
13,000.
13,000, right, but it's still not a lot of money to gear up to go into Europe.
Yeah.
As I say, it's a great thing for the fans, because the fans are just want for a jolly and see their team, which we don't get to see that a lot, but it's still about the money.
The other thing was, obviously it'll depend on the coefficient and stuff, but the UEFA Cup, I'm just going to call it the UEFA Cup because I hate the other name. It's changing from 48 teams down to 32. So, and then it's 32 teams for this thing. One thing I did quickly find quite interesting was that on it, if you finish second in the group, you play the team that finished third in the UEFA Cups thing. So then there's a playoff to then go into knockout stages. So I think that's pretty cool, but a different thing to do. Anyway, so what will be the impact on Scottish football if we're not in the coefficients?
We're already short of money in terms of sponsorship for the league. You get pretty much nothing for that. We relied on cup runs for a profit the year that we won the Scottish Cup. Without that, we would have been well into a loss if we never got the 2 cup runs that season, because we never got promoted. So you look at clubs in Scotland, I mean, we're talking that we're doing quite well, like we're staying afloat, we've just got a new owner, all the rest of it, we're debt free, right? But we've not got the infrastructure like Stuart said about like Celtic and Rangers, where we've got 40,000-50,000 people flooding through the gates every week.
But you get money for being in Europe.
But you don't get that much. That's the thing. Like,
we got £800,000 for our run last year.
See the jump right between Champions League and Europa League for Celtic. It's £15 million just for the group stages, right? So that's between they 2 leagues.
That's Champions League.
Imagine what you're getting for. Remember we got through 3 qualifying rounds in the Europa League last season to get that 800,000, right? And that was just luck of the draw.
And how much is it to charter a plane?
I don't know.
You're talking.
It was about 100,000 or something. It was a lot of money.
So you put into perspective that, right, and the fact that we've already lost loads of money getting rid of Lennon and Parker this season. So that's got to affect our budget, which we'll find out at the AGM soon. It's all wee things, and you think about the jump between the Champions League and the Europa League. Imagine what the jump's got to be between the Europa League and the Europa League.
We don't know that yet, so we can't assume.
It's got to be pennies, Gav.
I don't know if it'll be pennies, but I mean, to me, there's maybe more of a chance to get to the group stages. Like I said, there's only been 2 occasions where somebody outside the Old Firm's done it in the last 20 years. So surely there's a more opportunity to get to the group stages. So you're guaranteed, 3 games at home and 3 games away, which we loved last year.
But remember
that's good.
Remember what happened to the Intertotal Cup though? That never went anywhere. Like, you had teams like Newcastle in that playing in that. Like, Newcastle were at that point finishing 8th, 9th in the league to get into the. I think in England it's
going to be the League Cup winners or whoever finishes 6th or 7th.
Yeah, so imagine Bradford went on a luxury run again, right? And they've got
to win the League Cup. They can not just finish in second. You've got to actually win.
Imagine they drew Colchester.
And imagine if Airdrie United win the Scottish Cup this year.
You never know.
Anyway, so different opinions there, but we'll see what happens with it, and we'll kind of find out more information as it comes along. So, as we said, Celtic this weekend. How we feeling about? I mean, we talked about last time Neil Lennon coming back. But might as well say, how do you feel Lennon's doing this season at Celtic?
He had a wee stutter just a few games after the season. Because he started off beating St Johnstone 5 or 6, and then somebody else, and then he had a couple of wee games that he just started there, but he's back in again, and it's a team. Look at the players. He's got £9 million players to play with.
To be fair though, I thought that Edward had a bang average season last season. He never looked a £9 million player for me.
But he done enough to get the France under 21 squad, so he done something right.
This season though, like, is a completely different player.
But what do you think the score's going to be on Saturday? Now, I'm asking you because you're always asking us questions.
Right.
Asking you, what do you think the score will be?
I honestly think it's going to be 1-0 to Celtic, and then Scott Allen's going to score an equaliser.
Right. I'll
1-1.
I'll tell you, but and you can think, Steve, because I feel and I'm not being down on the Hibs or anything, but the way we're playing, we ain't scoring goals, right? If we get 1 goal, I'll be happy. But I think they'll take 4 to 5 off us.
Well,
That's
Sorry,
being,
and
that's
I'm
being kind. Like,
I was
thinking they're approaching double figures.
Steve, I'm telling you, mate, Celtic come to Easter Road and their fans behind the goals, you know what it's like. That's like the 12th man for them. They are, excuse me, they're fantastic there when they're singing away. And I just can't see Hibs getting out. We'll be defending at home on Saturday.
Celtic are best team in the league, so I'd expect us to. But I mean, I think that you
just said 1-0. You're going to get a last minute equaliser.
We're going to hit them on the counter. But nah, you say that, and they do really benefit from having the team behind the goals. I think there's a lot of time that they get a lot of goals in the second half and stuff. They really enjoy playing it into that team, into their fans and stuff.
Well, that's what I think. Anyways, so. What did you say?
You got a score prediction?
I think we'll get absolutely hammered. I think Rangers I think that Rangers score's got to be eclipsed, and I'll tell you why. Because you look how much praise that we've just given Porteous over the Hearts and Kilmarnock games. Hearts and Kilmarnock, right? The team that were sitting 12th when we played them, right? And a team that was bang average that we pretty much had the better of. Hibs had the better of last night.
Because we're a good team.
Right, whatever. Right? And Porteous isn't even playing. Right. So we are stuck with Hanlon. Like,
no pace.
He's done well, but he's not got to put in hard challenges against Edward.
Stevie,
he's not got to command it.
We're not going to have any pace at the back on Saturday.
No.
Because we're going to have Hanlon, Jackson,
James and Naismith.
We've not got any pace. We're not going to pace through the middle, and Celtic do play like that. And you'll get that wee Forrest coming through. He attacks through the middle.
Mickey Johnson coming off the bench, and
honestly,
Callum McGregor and Ryan Christie are the three midfielders. Forrest, Christie, and McGregor.
They've got a good team.
They probably get hat tricks each. Right? That's like our best chance actually last night. Just reminded me, it could have been Porteous. Remember, he ran up for the halfway line and then took a challenge on the keeper.
Aye, that was brilliant.
Unreal. Where's he on Saturday?
Aye.
He'll be watching from the stand.
Honestly, I hope we can keep it to a nice score, because when we were at Ibrox, it was embarrassing, and after about 50 minutes, 60 minutes, I wanted the referee to blow the whistle.
It's one of those things though, like the two of yous writing it off just now, and I was listening to Football Daft earlier, and Grado was, it could be a cricket score, and he was writing off Hibs against Celtic, and a lot of people seem to be writing us off. I've just got a funny feeling that it's going to be one of those games that you get a result you didn't expect, and off the back of the penalty win, I really think we're going to turn this around. At
this point though, I would rather write my team off and see us win than and be proven wrong. Right? I'd rather come out on Sunday or Monday and say to you, right, I was wrong, and we actually done better. But
I love to go in underdogs.
But if we
are underdogs on Saturday.
If we get beat by less than 3 goals, I think Lennon will be taking it easy on us.
Well, he's got a point to prove as well.
Exactly.
Now, how would you approach this game? You kind of wanted to talk about 3-5-2, so I'm sick of hearing you talking about 3-5-2. So somebody else talking about 3-5-2.
Well, this is a back three anyway, right? You're in the middle, and I'll go left, and you can go right. No, you're a left back, no.
But I'll take it.
I'll take the right. Well, that's the way that he would play. He would put you on the right.
He probably would.
No, right, I'm a 3-5-2 man, same as Stevie. Right, and I'm going to put something out what I've fancied, right? And this is my team, and I know there's a couple of injuries.
Just remember, you can't stick Hanlon into midfield because we've not got Porteous.
Right. I thought, right, this is because before I knew that Porteous was out, and of course McGregor's no. But
ideal situation.
If this was the squad that we could get, I'd have Porteous right, McGregor in the centre, to bully the centre forward because he's good at that and he's strong, and I'd either have Jackson or Whitty left. Ooh. Now Whittaker, you maybe slag the guy off.
We done that. Did we not play on a back three again at Tynecastle or something? It was horrendous.
I don't know. I can't remember, but I'd have Whittaker left or Jackson. Jackson's more right, but I thought, well, Whittaker to play on the left hand side of it because he plays left back. He can do that, right? In the middle. Now, this is James on one side, Louis on the other, right? And then in the middle, Vela, he has to come up to the mark sometime, and he has to start pushing his weight about.
Last night for me.
And Allen in the middle, and I'd have Hanlon on the left arm because Paul used to play for Hutchie Vale, and I know it was a long time ago, but he used to play with Hutchie Vale in the middle.
He came on the pod and
Sweet.
said that as well.
He's sweet in he's got a sweet left peg, and he knows what he's doing.
Lennon done it a couple of times as well.
I'd put him in there because he's height, and he can, because we're missing it in the middle. We've got a small midfield apart from that Vela, but he doesn't want to jump. And then up top, I'd have Flo and Middleton. I'd put Middleton. Middleton scored a hat-trick for Scotland under-21s, playing up top.
Aye.
So play him through. He's got pace.
You seen that? I mean, he got reeled offside, but then he kind of cheekily took his shot, and what a finish! So I mean, we're talking about his final ball. It's not been great, but his final shot looked great. They just not getting opportunities to take the final shot. But yeah,
listen, I only put these down, but I know there's a few there that would be tough to change. But
so obviously, when you've not got McGregor, I know that Hanlon can play midfield. Push him back into the back three, and this is what I say all season. Hanlon, McGregor, Hanlon, Jackson, Porteous, James, Stevenson. But now that Naismith's there, I'd maybe even push James onto the left because he played well on left when he was covering there in the League Cup games.
Yeah.
Put James on left, Naismith on the right because Naismith's a player as well. He's got a bit of pace, and then I'd play Malin on the right, because he can push out to the wing as well, because he was a natural winger. Started at St Mirren as a winger, went down to Barnsley as a winger, and then I'd put Allen in the middle so he can play off the back of Doidge or whoever, and Camberry, no Shaw. No. and I put Horgan on the left because he can come in, he can cut in,
he's not
and
he's got
he's turned right. Well, put Hallberg then. Right,
is a left wing back?
No, as a left wing back. I've said that James
left centre mid.
Aye.
So you're playing Horgan in midfield, left centre mid.
Yeah, because every single time that he gets the ball, he's picking up.
Overran with midfielders, central midfielders, and you want to put Horgan.
Well, I told you. Well, you're the one that's advocate for Horgan here. If it was my way, then I'd have Hallberg in there.
Put Hallberg in there. Okay, that's your way.
Okay. Right. Well, there you go then. So Malin, Allen, Hallberg, right, and then Doidge up front with Camberry, just to give Doidge a couple of games, and then if he's shite, we'll get rid of him. Right. But as long as Shaw, after last night, Shaw's not in that squad for me anymore.
Right.
I still think that 3-5-2 is the way to go, Stu. Honestly, Gav, because it opens it up, and then if you're getting, in defence, you've then got 5 at the back, rather than playing a 5-4-1 or a 4-5-1 or whatever. Celtic, against Celtic on Saturday, we have to play 5 in the middle. We have to, and it'll have to be a 4 and 1 up top, because if we change anything for there, we'll just get overrun. We have to play 5 in the middle.
And then we're back to square one, where we've got humped because we've not got any service, not got any shots up front, and then that's it.
Well, I'd hope. I mean, Heckingbottom is a sensible guy. I think people are questioning whether he's a good manager or not, but there's no doubt about he's a good coach. Like, a lot of folk have said that about him.
Aye, but there's a coach and there's a manager. A coach.
But a coach would be able to see that what went wrong at Rangers, what went wrong at Ibrox, and surely identify not to do the same mistakes at Easter Road.
But he's not doing the same though, because they couldn't even take the information from Ibrox and then beat St Johnstone the next game week. Like, it's that mentality where, when we had Lennon, he would go to Ibrox and we would think that we would
Rangers
win.
weren't as good a team as they are now.
They were last season. Rangers still had a cracking team. They still had a lot better team than we had. And we went to Ibrox and we all thought that we could win.
Oh, we knew we could go there because Rangers were there for the taking. See now, there's no belief in that team.
But I don't think Rangers are there for the taking now.
Of course any team is, apart from Celtic. because Celtic's too good for anybody.
Right.
They're too good for Rangers in my opinion.
Right.
But we have not got any self-belief in that team. There's no any players that go out there with their chest stuck out and we're going to win the day. I've never seen it.
I'll tell you, right, going back to the Old Firm derby where Celtic beat Rangers, they beat Rangers using the same formation that we used to beat Rangers with, where you would attack their wing backs. Tavernier, good going forward, hopeless defender.
He's a hopeless defender.
Absolutely hopeless defender.
Yeah,
if we pinpointed that at Ibrox, then we probably would have got something off the game. But in order to pinpoint a centre back, a left back or a right back, then you've got to have 2 up front, because you've got to have somebody to go out to him and then somebody to still be in the centre.
See, you're talking about Hecky being a coach, right? Manager, coach. It's just a,
term now.
It's a term, a terminology.
He's the manager.
I know. But Levine hates us with a vengeance. He does everything. He's not been getting the results. They hate him. But he does a wee change with half an hour to go on last Sunday.
Even Bartley commented on this.
He puts Morrison on the right wing, and he couldn't even see that, and he's running past him. He's actually 2 yards away from him, and everything was getting put to Morrison and to Hickey on him on the left. But everything came through Morrison on the right. He changed that. I can't see Hickey even thinking about doing that change.
We credited Hickey for all these changes last season. Like with the whole 10 unbeaten and stuff, he was seeing what wasn't working and changing.
I think he was lucky.
Do you think?
Yeah,
100%.
He was playing against that. But
even like Rangers,
lower teams.
But even Rangers like Ibrox, we were 1-0 down, and he made the changes at half time, and we were much better at the second half, and Canberra got equaliser.
Do you still think that when these things happened, we still had the mentality of Lennon? I think he's actually, he just sucked it right out of us, because he's not got that. I don't see him going in there and geeing everybody up and then to go.
Exactly what I said earlier today was the fact that when Hickey came in for that 10-game unbeaten run, it was purely based on the fact that he still had Lennon's team and Lennon's mentality were instilled in in the players, and the only reason that he was starting to get the results again was because Lennon wasn't there, and Lennon brought that team down before he left. Lennon did bring the team down.
Lennon was horrendous last season. For the word go, we were as soon as we were out of Europe, we were shite last season. And I did swear on this podcast a lot, but we were shite.
As soon as we were out of Europe, Lennon got us through 3 European legs.
After that,
3 European games.
We were rubbish. So I don't understand this
because we lost McGinn right after the European games, and that took a massive hit. And then you had a team that was built around McGinn during the European games, and McGinn's gone, McGeouch's gone, Allen's gone,
and I think that's what was wrong with Lennon.
He had to take the hit for losing all 3 of their players.
He didn't want to. He knew he was going to lose McGinn, but he didn't want to lose.
He was still trying to convince McGeouch to stay.
But you knew he wasn't. You knew Scott Allen was going back to Celtic. You knew that McGinn was moving on because he was going into last year's contract, and you knew that McGeouch was leaving. He was never going to sign a new deal. So there should have been. Lennon was involved in the recruitment and stuff. There should have been getting replacements
But Gav, this is what I'm saying. We don't know.
No, we don't.
Is he involved in it, or is he not? What was the arguments in?
Well, it must be if Heckingbottom is involved as he is with the current recruitment. So
well, the thing is,
there must have been
at East Mains. What went on? We're not going to find out, and they've been sworn to secrecy. By a signature. We're not going to find out what happened there.
He'll release his memoirs someday.
Oh, aye, but we'll be 70-year-old and we wouldn't even care then.
Anyway, we're going a bit off topic. So Lennon's back on Saturday and it's going to be interesting. So we're going to finish up with something a bit fun. Dave's sort of project. It's the first time he's not been on it. So Room 1902, basically Room 101, but 1902 because we got rid of the hoodoo, and the hoodoo was the first thing to go. The cup hoodoo was the first thing to go in Room 1902. So it's been joined by seagulls because Dave hates the seagulls, and we done it last week, but the audio didn't get saved, so you can use the same one again if you really want. So, Stephen, start with yourself. What are you voting for Room 1902 this week? And
sorry, is it in Scottish football or just at Easter Road?
Scottish football.
Scottish football. Aye. Okay.
So I'll do this in aid of Dave since he missed it last week. But
you have to do that one.
I need
just
to
do what you don't want. It's fine.
Alright, okay. Reintroducing proper PA systems to all the clubs because see going to Easter Road and listening to that PA system, Christ.
But so you want the whole thing about the PA system being a health and safety thing rather than a media thing for
100%.
You think there should be a law in place?
There needs to be a standard introduced for PA systems
to make sure that they're actually suitable for entertainment purposes as well as health and safety announcements.
Well, they're not even. The one at Easter Road is lucky if it's.
Well, it passes.
That's absolutely shocking.
It passes the test. So the health and safety test.
Right,
and stuff.
okay.
It's
Right,
there.
okay.
If there's an emergency, it can announce
But
it. And stuff.
it needs to be there for an entertainment purpose as well, because you're talking about getting a crowd on side as well. How are you supposed to get a crowd G'd up when all you can hear is could you move your car please? There's got to be a standard introduced where you get fans involved back in football, because it's not there.
It was at his best when Tony Mowbray was here.
Right.
Remember when he used to start playing? They started playing the teenage kids
Kids,
and all that.
we said that last
belting.
night.
That used to get them coming out.
That's probably what broke it.
It's maybe the same tannoy system as then, and it's kind of
it probably is. You know Hibs.
So the whole thing of it being a health and safety thing, you want that in the bin.
I want that in the bin.
And you want it to be a law that it should be
at a standard where it brings an entertainment purpose to the football as well, because that's what football is. It's an entertaining sport. It's got an entertainment factor. Obviously you're daft on your wrestling and that, so you bring that.
What a week for wrestling next week, by the way.
So you bring that all entertainment factor into football. Get it going, because I mean you didn't need fucking disco lights.
We've got Ron Gordon now. He'll get buying us a new PA stuff.
You didn't need this. You didn't need disco lights. You didn't need disco lights, but you need a PA system.
I've got disco lights in the garage. I can bring them along Easter Road.
Ron will sort us out. Don't worry about that. As well
we'll have a half-time show.
He'll build a dome at HCC and get us some new tannoy systems.
We'll get a half-time show.
Well, it's 1902 the now. It's getting on. Right. Oh, you want my 1902?
Aye.
Is that what it says? 1902. Aye.
It's to go into the room. 1902.
Right. Has to be one thing. Sports scene. It comes on a Saturday and then it gets recorded and it comes on again. It is shite. What's his name? Stephen
Thompson.
And
he talks a lot of keek and Michael he likes speaking like he's from Morningside and he's MP, because he was going to stand for an MP, and he likes speaking with the big words. I was listening on the radio and he was building up and he's using these big words, and I'm thinking, Mikey, you're on Radio 2 and you're using these big words, and I'm thinking, shut the up. So 1902, it has to be sports scene, and I watch Room 102 and I'm building it up because that has to go in. It's the worst, as my mum would say. It's like a black green concert, son. That's what it is. It's shocking.
What's your thoughts on Match of the Day in England?
It's the same old. I'd rather watch the goals with music on behind. Just music, some nice music to go. You know what they do with Soccer AM? And they play all the good goals, or they play a wee bit of fancy trickery or whatever, and they play music to some unknown band. Do that.
Do you know what I'd like? I really love the show The Terrace, which is back soon. If they showed the goals inside in that, because they've got a great format with that show, and if it was them and they kind of talk about the games and stuff, if the goals was in that format, I think that'd be much better than Sports Scene.
I don't think you have to talk about the game,
but they're talking about the games anyway.
Aye,
that's what we do. So let's talking about the games. No. Aye, Chris, we'll be at hobby soon if we do that.
Aye, but I'm not saying that. But we didn't talk. We're talking about our club that people want to listen into. But they're talking a lot of kick about, did he tripped up, and was that a foul? Was that just offside? I'm sick and tired of football now with the VAR. Let's look at the VAR. This is after the fact. They've done it. They've checked it. So what? Down on Sky or BT, what they do is they look at they analyse VAR now. It's going to be like American football. We're going to have 4 hours for an hour and a half.
It's going to be nuts.
So Sports Scene has to go, because they're show me the goals. That's all I'm interested in. If Hibs get beat, I didn't watch it. Only time I win it, I score. When we win, I watch it.
Now, I will be putting this up for a poll, so people can vote.
Sports scene.
But none of that matters, because I'm the most important person, so I get to decide what actually goes in room 1902. Now, Stephen, you make some great points.
So you're picking Stuart.
I have not said anything yet. All I'm saying is you made some great points. I think the PA system does need improved all across the board. Kilmarnock's last night was just noise. It sounded fine when the guy was talking, but the music started and we couldn't understand. What was it? It was the Glory Glory Kilmarnock, whoever it was.
we thought
And
it was
sounded
Inverness.
They couldn't make it out. Really poor PA system. And you're saying about sports scene. I think if like I say, a big fan of the Terrace. I'd love to see the goals moved there and just get rid of sports scene. So I agree with both your things. But this week, drum roll, I'm going to go for sports scene.
Yes!
Fine, I'll eventually get it, probably on the last day of the season.
So sports scene joins Seagulls and the Cup Hoodoo in room 1902.
Sorry,
and also, he's a Jambo that presents it.
Is he? I did not know that.
He's a wee Jambo, aye.
by the time it comes to me, I'll just be saying Hibs and then it'll be straight in the bin, like, I'll be game over.
Right, well, thank you for listening. Longer episode than I thought this week, so thank you for making it to the end. Follow us on Twitter and all that sort of stuff, and make sure you subscribe, all the boring stuff. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week, and enjoy the Celtic game, hopefully a lot more than these guys think you will.
Still going.
And just before we head off today, I had a quick chat with Darren. Of course, you know Darren, who has been on the podcast before, and I recently interviewed Lewis Stevenson. So I had a quick chat to him about what he's been up to recently in terms of interviews and his thoughts on the Celtic game. So joining us on the line now is Darren. How you doing, Darren?
Not too bad, Gav, yourself.
I'm really good, yeah. I want to get your opinion on the Celtic game, obviously, and on Heckingbottom, but before we get to that, I understand, you've been doing your interviews. A lot of Hibs fans will know that you interviewed Lewis Stevenson a few months ago, and you've been interviewing another former Hibs player in Alex Harris.
Yeah, it was very interesting in the background that he grew up and how he become playing football.
So how did all that come about?
Alec from Edinburgh City, he knew me from when I interviewed Liam Henderson from the club, and obviously made me the mascot. I asked if I could interview Alex, and he said yeah.
And how was that experience of being the mascot?
Unreal experience. Obviously leading out Edinburgh City, I enjoyed it. They're going to keep me part of their team, and their manager at the end of the game, he presented me with a certificate, and he went to me, any other players you want to interview, just ask.
So speaking of that, there's a couple of the former Hibs players that are there, Danny Handlin and the left back Callum Crane. Are you looking to interview any of them anytime soon?
Yeah, good do.
So I'd like to say we'll join the guys and talk about the Celtic game in a second, but first off, what's your kind of thoughts been on the season so far?
Was it 10 games we went we were unbeaten?
Yes.
Yeah, from that to now being 11th, numbers are slightly ringing.
So Celtic on Saturday, the early kickoff. How are you feeling about it, Darren?
Really don't know. I think we should start Marciano.
Right.
And 2 up top.
Even though that Maxwell kept a clean sheet against Kilmarnock?
I wouldn't trust him against an old firm team.
Right. Is there any particular reason for that? Do you think just Rocky's the more experienced head, or?
Yeah. Marciano knows roughly how Celtic play.
And he's had some great games against them in the past, so I can understand that. Aye. And what about sort of score? Well, I guess before we get to score predictions, quickly thought on Lennon coming back to Easter Road again. How are you sort of feeling about the old manager coming up against us?
Couldn't care less.
Just as long as we beat them.
Pretty much.
Aye. And how are you feeling about the game? What's your sort of score predictions?
I'm gonna go for 1-0.
1-0 Habs.
1 or 2-0.
Wow, that'd be great. I went for 1-1 with Scott Allen snatching a late equaliser. That's what I kind of see.
I think they should put Malin, was he right wing?
Yeah, against Hearts. I think he was better out there.
Well, he seemed to play well. then obviously Heckingbottom moved them back into midfield.
Yeah, I put him back into the middle against Kilmarnock. So
Aye.
thank you very much for that, Darren. We've got your score prediction stuff. I'd love a 1 or 2-0, so hopefully you're right with that. And enjoy the game on Saturday.
Thank you, and I mean it's a pleasure to actually be part of the podcast.
It's always great to have you on. Cheers for that, Darren.